Jack Harmon stared at the empty bottle in his hand. 5 years on this frozen rock called Proxima B, and nothing to show for it but a collection of cheap liquor bottles. The small cabin shook as another storm hit the colony's outer dome. He didn't care. The emergency comm unit on his wall suddenly lit up with a harsh red glow. Jack ignored it at first. The colony had stopped calling for his help 3 years ago after the incident. Whatever medical emergency they had, they'd find someone else. The comm kept blaring. With a curse, Jack threw the bottle at the wall and stumbled to the unit. "What?" he growled. "Dr. Harmon." The voice belonged to Colony Administrator Patel. "You need to come to the command center. Now." "I'm not a doctor anymore, you made that very clear." "This isn't about the past, there's a ship in orbit, they're asking for you specifically." Jack laughed. "Me? Nobody asks for me." "It's not a human ship." The words hit Jack like ice water. In 15 years of colonial expansion, no human had made official contact with intelligent alien life. There were rumors, of course, distant sightings, unexplained phenomena. "This is a joke," Jack said. The wall screen activated without his permission. The image showed the colony's small command center filled with nervous officials. Through the viewport behind them, Jack could see it, a massive vessel hanging in the sky, at least 20 times larger than any human ship. Its surface gleamed with a metal that seemed to shift colors as it moved. "They call themselves the Vexthari," Administrator Patel said, "and their leader, their Monarch, is demanding to speak with you." Jack's hands trembled. "Why me?" "They say they need a doctor for something called a Drakkar." 30 minutes later, Jack stood in the colony's landing bay, a hastily packed medical kit at his feet. Colony security formed a nervous perimeter around the designated landing zone. Their weapons looked like toys compared to what waited above. A shuttle descended from the alien vessel, making no sound as it passed through the atmospheric shield. It was shaped like a teardrop, with no visible engines or windows. It touched down with perfect precision. "Remember," Administrator Patel whispered beside him, "the future of human-alien relations might depend on you. Don't screw this up." Jack almost laughed. The colony's biggest failure, suddenly their ambassador. The shuttle's surface rippled, and an opening appeared. 2 figures emerged. They stood over 7 feet tall, with slender bodies covered in what looked like living armor. Their faces were hidden behind masks that reflected Jack's own terrified expression back at him. "Dr. Jack Harmon," one of them said, the words perfectly formed despite the alien mouth that spoke them. "The Monarch requires your service." "What exactly am I treating?" Jack asked. "The Royal Drakkar is dying. 7 medical experts from 3 systems have failed to save it. They were executed for their failure." Jack swallowed hard. "And if I refuse?" The alien tilted its head. "Your colony has no defensive capabilities against our weapons." "I'll need my equipment," Jack said, trying to keep his voice steady. "We have transported your primitive tools to our vessel. You will come now." As Jack stepped toward the shuttle, Administrator Patel grabbed his arm. "Why you?" she whispered. "Why would they cross galaxies for a disgraced vet?" "I don't know," Jack said. The shuttle ride was brief and silent. When they docked with the main vessel, Jack was led through corridors that seemed to breathe and pulse with life. They entered a massive hangar bay, large enough to hold the entire colony. And there it was. The creature lay sprawled across the deck, its massive body heaving with labored breaths. It resembled Earth's mythical dragons, but with crystalline scales that shifted colors with each breath. Multiple hearts were visible through transparent sections of its chest. A glowing blue substance leaked from wounds across its body, melting through the metal deck wherever it touched. "Fix it," said a new voice, cold and powerful. Jack turned to see a taller figure approaching, wearing armor that seemed made of light itself. The Monarch had arrived. Jack stared at the massive creature, his mind racing to process what he was seeing. The dragon, the Drakkar, was unlike anything in human medical records. Its body stretched nearly 60 meters from snout to tail, with a wingspan that could have covered a small shuttle bay. "What happened to it?" Jack asked, approaching cautiously. The blue fluid sizzled as it ate through the deck. "The hegemony," the Monarch said. voice cold through the translator. Our enemies deployed a biological weapon during our last battle. It targets only the Royal Drakkar. Jack knelt beside a wound on the creature's flank, careful to avoid the caustic fluid. He pulled a scanner from his kit and ran it over the crystalline scales. "This isn't just a poison," Jack said, reading the results. "It's replicating inside the body, attacking the cellular structure, like a virus but engineered." The Monarch stepped closer. "Can you stop it?" Jack looked up at the towering alien ruler. "Maybe, but I need to get inside to the primary infection site." Inside. The Monarch's armor plates shifted, perhaps indicating surprise. "Yes. These readings show the infection is concentrated near the neural cluster. I need direct access." A tall Vexthari warrior approached the Monarch and spoke in their native language, a series of clicks and humming tones. The Monarch responded sharply. "Commander Krasil believes this is unwise," the Monarch explained. "The Drakkar's internal defense systems will kill any foreign body." "Then disable them," Jack said. "Impossible. The connection is biological, not mechanical." Jack studied the creature again. Its breathing was becoming more labored. Multiple hearts beat out of sync. "There," Jack pointed to a section under the dragon's foreleg. "That looks like a maintenance port. The other doctors must have used it." "They did," the Monarch confirmed. "None survived the attempt." Jack packed medical supplies into a smaller kit. "I'm not them." 20 minutes later, Jack stood before the maintenance port wearing a protective suit the Vexthari had provided. It fit poorly on his human frame, but would offer some protection from the toxic environment inside. "The suit will last 40 minutes before the Drakkar's internal atmosphere corrodes it," a technician explained. "After that, your skin will dissolve." "Comforting," Jack muttered. The port opened with a hiss of blue vapor. Jack took a deep breath and climbed inside. The interior of the Drakkar was a maze of pulsing chambers and glowing vessels. Jack followed the scanner readings, moving deeper into the creature. The walls around him contracted and expanded like a massive lung. "I'm approaching the neural cluster," Jack reported through his comm. "The infection is concentrated here." He entered a larger chamber where glowing blue tendrils connected to what looked like a central brain. The infection was visible as dark patches spreading through the neural tissue. Jack began the delicate work of isolating the infected areas and applying the counteragent he had synthesized. The dragon's body trembled around him. "Something's wrong," Jack said, noticing a small device attached to one of the neural stems. "There's a foreign object implanted here. It's not hegemony technology." He scanned the device. "This is a delivery system. It's been slowly releasing the toxin directly into the neural network. This wasn't a battle wound. This was deliberate sabotage from inside your ship." Jack reached for the device, planning to remove it. As his fingers touched the metal surface, it pulsed with energy. His scanner began flashing warnings. "It's booby-trapped," Jack realized too late. The device activated, releasing a fresh wave of toxin. At the same moment, alarms blared throughout the ship, their sound penetrating even the thick tissue surrounding him. "Human," the Monarch's voice came through the comm. "We are under attack. Hegemony warships have appeared. They knew exactly where to find us." The neural tissue around Jack began to contract violently. The dragon was reacting to both the new toxin and the attack. Jack was trapped inside a dying dragon on a ship about to enter battle. The ship rocked with the impact of enemy fire. Jack braced himself against the pulsing walls of the dragon's neural chamber. He had seconds to make a decision. "I need to neutralize this device," Jack said into his comm. "But it will release more toxin if I remove it incorrectly." No response came through. The battle must have disrupted communications. Jack pulled tools from his kit and carefully examined the sabotage device. It was Vexthari technology, not hegemony. Someone on this ship had planted it. The dragon's body convulsed around him. Jack was thrown against the chamber wall, his suit tearing slightly at the shoulder. Blue fluid seeped in, burning his skin. "Focus," Jack told himself, ignoring the pain. He worked quickly, using a medical laser to sever the device's connection to the neural stem. while simultaneously injecting a neutralizing agent into the surrounding tissue. The device gave a final pulse and went dark. Jack applied the remaining counteragent directly to the infected neural tissue. The dark patches began to recede. "That's it?" Jack whispered. "Fight it." The ship shuddered with another impact. Jack needed to get out before his suit failed completely. He navigated back through the pulsing chambers, following his entry path. The maintenance port opened as he approached, and Jack tumbled out onto the hangar deck. The scene had changed dramatically. Vexithari warriors rushed to battle stations. The hangar shields flickered as enemy fire struck the ship. Through the energy barrier, Jack could see the flashes of space combat. "The human emerges," a voice said. Jack turned to see Commander Kraziel approaching with 4 armed guards. "The Drakkar will live," Jack said, removing his damaged helmet. "I found a sabotage device implanted in its neural system. Vexithari technology." Kraziel's faceplates shifted. "Interesting accusation. The Monarch will want to hear this." The guards surrounded Jack and escorted him through corridors filled with rushing crew members. The ship continued to shake under enemy fire. They entered a command center where the Monarch stood before a tactical display. The massive room showed holographic views of the space battle, 3 hegemony warships attacking the Vexithari vessel. "The human has saved the Drakkar," Kraziel announced, "and now makes wild claims of sabotage." The Monarch turned. "Is this true?" "Yes," Jack said. "Someone planted a device to slowly poison the dragon. It was Vexithari technology, not hegemony." "Lies," Kraziel hissed. "And now we know why." The commander gestured to a display screen. It showed Jack's personnel file, not the colony record, but a classified Earth military document. "Jack Harmon," Kraziel read, "former specialist in xenobiology for Earth Defense Force, expert in biological warfare countermeasures." His disgrace was a cover story. Jack stared at the file in shock. "That's not possible. I was a veterinary surgeon. I never worked for the military." "The evidence is clear," Kraziel said. "He is a human spy. The hegemony attack proves it. They knew exactly when to strike, after their agent had accessed our most valuable asset." The Monarch's armor darkened, a sign of anger. "Is this true, human?" "No," Jack insisted. "Someone is framing me. The same person who poisoned your dragon." The ship rocked violently. A crew member called out, "Direct hit to engine section, shields at 40%. "Take him away," the Monarch ordered. "When this battle ends, he will be executed for his treachery." The guards grabbed Jack and dragged him toward the exit. As they passed through the corridor, a deafening roar echoed through the ship. The deck plates vibrated beneath their feet. "The Drakkar has broken containment," a voice shouted over the ship's communication system. The corridor ahead of them suddenly tore open. The guards raised their weapons as a massive crystalline head pushed through the opening. The dragon's eyes locked onto Jack, glowing with intelligence and rage. The guards fired, but their weapons had no effect on the dragon's scales. With a sweep of its massive head, the creature knocked the guards aside and blocked the corridor, separating Jack from his captors. Jack stood frozen as the dragon lowered its head to his level. Instead of attacking, it pressed its snout gently against Jack's forehead. A flood of images filled Jack's mind. Kraziel in the dragon's chamber, planting the device, speaking with a hegemony commander on a secret channel. The dragon was showing Jack the truth. Jack gasped as the mental connection with the dragon intensified. More images flooded his mind. Kraziel meeting with hegemony agents, planning the Monarch's assassination, the dragon's poisoning as just the first step. "I understand," Jack whispered. The dragon pulled back, its crystalline eyes blinking. Jack felt a strange sensation, like the creature was waiting for his command. "Can you take me to the Monarch?" Jack asked. The dragon lowered its massive head to the deck. Jack climbed onto its neck, finding natural handholds among the scales. The moment he settled, the dragon surged forward, tearing through the ship's corridors toward the command center. Alarms blared throughout the vessel. The ship rocked with another impact from hegemony weapons. Through viewports, Jack glimpsed the space battle raging outside. The massive Vexithari ship surrounded by smaller, faster enemy vessels. The Dragon burst into the command center, sending Vexithari crew members scrambling for cover. The Monarch stood firm, facing the creature without fear. "What is the meaning of this?" the Monarch demanded. Jack slid down from the Dragon's neck. "Your commander is a traitor. The Dragon showed me everything." "Showed you?" The Monarch's voice held disbelief. "We have a connection. A mental link." Jack pointed to Krasil, who stood near a tactical display. "He poisoned your dragon and contacted the hegemony. This attack was coordinated." Krasil drew a weapon. "The human has somehow controlled the Drakkar. This proves his guilt." The dragon roared, the sound shaking the command center. Every Vexthari in the room froze. "No Vexthari has ever bonded with a Drakkar," the Monarch said, studying Jack with new interest. "It is physically impossible for our species." "Yet he has done it," Krasil said, "which proves he is working with our enemies." "Or," the Monarch said, "it proves something else entirely." The Monarch approached Jack slowly. "The Drakkar were not always our war mounts. They were once rulers of their own empire, before we subjugated them. Their ability to form neural bonds was thought lost forever." The ship shuddered with another hit. A crew member called out, "Shields at 20%. We cannot withstand much more." "I have a plan," Jack said, "but you need to trust me. The dragon is still weak from the poison, but our connection makes it stronger. Together, we can fight back." The Monarch hesitated, then nodded. "What do you need?" "Access to your medical bay. I can enhance the neural connection, make it stronger. The dragon will fight for us." "This is madness," Krasil protested. "You cannot trust this human." The Monarch turned to Krasil. "Secure the engine room. Ensure our shields hold." As Krasil left, the Monarch leaned close to Jack. "I am taking a great risk trusting you." "I know," Jack said. In the medical bay, Jack worked quickly, preparing neural enhancers while Vexithari technicians monitored the dragon's vital signs. The creature lay curled around the large chamber, its eyes never leaving Jack. "The Drakkar were not always weapons," the Monarch explained, watching Jack work. "They were sentient beings with their own civilization. My ancestors found them and saw their potential for war." "You enslaved them," Jack said. "Yes. We altered their genetics, made them dependent on us. But never could we bond with them as you have done." Jack injected himself with the neural enhancer. "I'm ready." He placed his hand on the dragon's head. The connection flared instantly, stronger than before. Jack could feel the creature's thoughts, its pain, its rage, its centuries of enslavement. "I can see through its eyes," Jack gasped. "I can feel its power." The dragon rose, new strength flowing through its massive body. Jack's consciousness merged further with the creature's. "We need to stop Krasil," Jack said. "He's not heading to the engine room. He's going to the weapons control to lower the shields." The dragon moved toward the door, Jack still mentally connected. Suddenly, pain shot through Jack's body. He collapsed to the floor, blood streaming from his eyes and nose. "What's happening?" the Monarch demanded. The Vexthari medical technician scanned Jack. "The human brain cannot sustain this connection. It is killing him." Jack tried to speak but could only cough blood. The dragon roared in shared agony. "Break the connection," the Monarch ordered. "No," Jack managed to say. "We need to stop Krasil first." The dragon lowered its head to Jack, their eyes meeting. In that moment, Jack knew they would either succeed together or die together. Jack woke to the sound of battle. His vision cleared slowly, revealing the Monarch standing over him. The pain had subsided, replaced by a strange clarity. "You stabilized me," Jack said, touching the metal device now attached to his temple. "A neural buffer," the Monarch explained. "It will protect your mind temporarily, but we must hurry." Jack stood, feeling the dragon's presence in his mind. Stronger, yet somehow safer now. Through their shared vision, he could see Krasil at the weapons control center, inputting commands. "He's lowering the shields in Section 4, Jack said. The hegemony will board there. The Dragon burst through the medical bay doors, Jack running alongside it. Crew members pressed against walls as they passed. The ship rocked with another impact. "How do we stop him?" the Monarch asked, keeping pace with Jack. "We already know how," Jack replied. They reached the weapons control center to find Kraziel surrounded by loyal guards. Through the viewport, hegemony boarding ships approached the hull. "Stop him," the Monarch commanded. Kraziel's guards opened fire. The Dragon moved with impossible speed, placing its body between the weapons and Jack. The shots bounced harmlessly off its scales. "You're too late," Kraziel said. "The shields are down. The hegemony will take this ship, and I will be rewarded as promised." Jack closed his eyes, focusing on his connection with the Dragon. "Show them what you really are." The Dragon's body began to change. Its scales shifted, glowing brighter. Wings that had been folded against its body extended, filling the chamber with crystalline light. The creature grew larger, breaking through ceiling panels. "Impossible," Kraziel whispered. "The genetic locks prevent transformation." "Not anymore," Jack said. "You never understood what these creatures truly are." The Dragon opened its mouth and released a stream of energy that cut through the hull, slicing 3 approaching hegemony ships in half. The vacuum of space began to pull at them, but the Dragon's wings created an energy field that maintained atmosphere. Kraziel tried to flee. The Dragon's tail whipped forward, pinning him against a console. "The Drakkar were never meant to be weapons," Jack said, approaching Kraziel. "They were guardians." The Monarch stepped forward. "What do you mean?" "I can see it all now," Jack said, the Dragon's memories flowing through him. Earth was their home, millions of years ago. They left to protect us from something coming from deep space. The Vexathari found them and enslaved them, but they never forgot their original purpose. Through the viewport, they watched as the remaining hegemony ships began to retreat. The Dragon had shifted the battle's momentum with a single attack. "Why can humans bond with them when we cannot?" the Monarch asked. "Because they're connected to us," Jack explained. "They're Earth's original protectors. They've been waiting for us to evolve enough to find them again." Kraziel laughed despite his predicament. "It doesn't matter. This is just one ship. The hegemony has thousands. The war will continue." "Not if we end it now," Jack said. He turned to the Monarch. "There's something else you should know. The Dragon showed me. There are thousands more Drakkar in stasis, hidden throughout the galaxy, and thousands more beneath Earth's surface waiting for human partners." The Monarch's armor shifted colors in shock. "An army of bonded Drakkar would be unstoppable." "I don't want an army," Jack said. "I want peace, a treaty between Earth, the Vexathari, and the awakened Drakkar." "And if I refuse?" the Monarch asked. The Dragon growled, the sound vibrating through the ship. "Then you'll have a different kind of war on your hands," Jack said. "One you can't win. 3 days later, Jack stood on the surface of Proxima B, watching as the colony administrators signed the first interspecies peace treaty in human history. Beside him, the Dragon rested, its massive body gleaming in the alien sunlight. Administrator Patel approached cautiously. "So you're leaving with them?" "Not exactly," Jack said. "I'm going back to Earth. There are others like me who can bond with the Dragons. They need to be found." "And then what?" Jack looked up at the stars, feeling the Dragon's thoughts merging with his own. Ancient memories of threats from beyond the edge of the galaxy. Warnings of what was coming. "Then we prepare," Jack said. "The real war hasn't even begun."